Dale. I really want to. I really am asking you to tell us who Percy is, because it's such a fascinating character. What brought about Percy? Who's Percy? What is he up to now? Since you left Chili Bush, or you sold Chili Bush. By the way, Dale founded and ran the ad agency Chili Bush, and subsequently launched the Nedbank IMC in 2019, which is now Africa's biggest marketing conference. So tell me about Percy, and then I'll ask you.
I always love talking about Percy. Percy was my first ever business partner, and we're going back 20 years ago. And Percy taught me a unique set of skills, and we're talking about creative business balance, because that's exactly what Percy taught me. And I'll quickly tell you the story of how Percy and I came to be partners. When I started Chili Bush, we're going back to the very early 2000s, and I know it's going to be difficult for a lot of you to imagine, but there was no internet. So if we had to place an advert, we actually had to get what we called our typesetters, or our finished artists, to set it out, and then we'd take it to a repro house, and they'd print out the litho positives or the negatives, and then we would take those to the newspaper to be printed the next day or whatever. So anyway, this saw me spending a lot of time running around in my little Taz, going to the Repro House and going to the Saturday Star, which was in town. And as bad luck would have it, I was constantly getting attacked in my car. People would break the window and steal my phone, and it was becoming to a stage where it was actually becoming a real threat to my business. So what I did was I sat down and I did this problem-solving exercise where I thought, right, how can I solve this problem? My business is brand new. I can't afford a better car. Can't afford a security guard. I don't want to stop my business. There's huge potential. So I did what I thought anyone would do, is go to the closest sex shop. And I said, give me the biggest blow-up doll you have. The biggest. She looked at me skeptically when I said, I promise you it's for my business. But I took this blow-up doll. I named him Percy. I put a cap on him and a T-shirt. And every time I traveled anywhere, I fastened him into my passenger seat. So if it was dusk and we were sitting, for example, at a robot on the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, I'd quietly lean over and squeeze his little legs so he'd bob around like this. And in fact, the Percy even came with a detachable dildo, and I thought, geez, I can actually keep this and bludgeon the guys to death if I need. So, and I'll never forget turning around at the robots and seeing the cars next door going, this wide mouth. So Percy was very important to my business, and he taught me great lessons about balancing creativity and the practical when trying to find solutions for whether it's an opportunity you have and you need to address it creatively, or whether it's a challenge you have in either your business or your marketing. Okay. So that's my man Percy. You asked what happened to him. I was trying to think myself, and my last recollection of him, and I've got one guy from Chili Bush days, he's still with me now, at the back, she may recall, but I think there was one hell of a bash. Back when we used to have fun, Mike. And I remember seeing Percy laying on the boardroom table, and blow me down, someone ran and dived onto him, and I think, bam, that was it. Okay. He blew.
Yeah, but the Dale. Now with at least we know where Percy is now. So let's talk integrated marketing. And the question is, with such media channel proliferation, then what is the role of what is traditionally termed below the line, and how do you integrate that and those objectives, and how do you amplify those? Because I'm going back to this IMC integrated marketing channels.
Thanks. I still wonder whether a lot of these terms are valid, like below the line and USP and use. What did you call you? I think you meant to say LSM, but you said
SCM.
Yes. So
same.
To me, when I was running my agency, it was a through the line. That's another term that I'm sure it's relevant anymore. But we were a through the line agency, and we had the strategist. She was fantastic. I loved working with her because she loved metaphors. She always talked about metaphors, but blow me down if she'd get them wrong every time. So, for example, we'd be sitting in a meeting and we'd be trying to find another term that's coming up, USP. We were trying to find the USP, and she'd say, I don't know, it's like looking for a needle in a barge pole.
Bunch pole.
And then the one day we were talking about how are we going to challenge, how are we going to put a marketing mix together, and we were talking about below the line, and she says, we have to learn to fish where all our eggs are in one basket. And I thought that is brilliant. That's exactly what below the line is. It's the opportunity to engage on a totally different level where you're basically using a spearfish, whereas above the line you'd be using a net. It allows you to send a particular message and to do a better, get a better sense of ROI. So to my mind, that's behind the line, as we traditionally know it. And it's a critical component of the mix, and how you determine how much below the line you can include in a campaign would go back to planning, that we also say is missing, and that would be part of we used to call it the marketing mix, but I think that includes the P's, which I don't think are relevant anymore. So we talk about the promotional mix now, which is basically the combination of marketing activities required to best achieve your marketing goals. In order to know those, you have to know your goals. So back to the Percy business balance, you have to find your goals in a creative way. So it's all about planning, and then you also have to know your target market. So it's all about going all the way back and planning your objectives, but knowing your target market and your channel opportunities. So